Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises called Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone and Ruel, and salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and truth in name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. This is Ira, and welcome to another lesson. And today's lesson is going to be focused around the elect. I think I'll title this video, it's all about the elect. Because you look on YouTube and you look around the Israelite community and all you see right now are these waggy-tacky Christians at it once again, trying to add all nations into the fold, of being saved and of the statutes and commandments and of the inheritance of Israel, man, which is the kingdom of heaven, And as we know, as it says in Revelation 7th chapter, that the only people that will reap salvation is 144,000 and the 1/3 elect. The 144,000 meaning the governing body that we see laid out in Revelation 7th chapter, and also the 1/3 comprising of the elect. Now, when you look at the scriptures blatantly point out that they are for the elect and those that have followed the Lord in the regeneration. Now, if we say, oh, if the scriptures are for the elect, then what happens to the rest of the world? Well, there's an elect nation, and then there's an elect within that elect nation, which would be the 144,000 and the 1/3 elect. And now there's 2/3 that make up this pie of Israel that won't be saved, man, and that are destined for destruction. And that's just the way the Lord laid it out. There's no amount of heckling that you can do to the prophets on the street corners that's going to force you into this inheritance, so to speak. There's no amount of heckling, no amount of rewriting definitions. There's no amount of funneling money into the Christian community to disrupt the Lord's awakening. That is going to force everybody into this fold, man, when it has already been written in heaven. So with further ado, this is Zechariah chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die." Now you have you have a part of the pie, right? Now you have this pie cut in thirds. Now this is speaking on 2 parts of that pie, which is 2/3 or 2/3 of Israel, and die. So 2/3 of our nation of Israel are going to be destroyed. Why? Because they have a prideful countenance towards Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They don't follow the Lord. They've turned their backs on the Lord now in this life and before in all of the past lives. It says, "But the third," meaning the 1/3, Slakia, "shall be left therein," meaning left alive. It says, "And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire." And that 3rd part isn't speaking on the 2/3, which I don't know how you could spin this, but that 3rd part is speaking about this same 3rd part in the last phrase of the 8th verse, last sentence of the 8th verse. It says, "And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire." And that fire represents all types of trials and tribulations. And the literal fire, So it's twofold. And the literal fire, which is the fire that Babylon is going to be destroyed by, That's going to constitute of, 250 million missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. As you can't say that you don't see it. It's drawing ever so closer as you look at the Russia and Ukraine conflict, which now is a Russia and NATO conflict, which now puts it basically being a Russia and U.S. conflict. And will refine them as silver is refined. See, the 1/3 is going to be refined, and cleansed through this fire. And will try them as gold is tried, right? Because when you try gold and when you refine silver and gold, you apply tremendous heat to it to burn out the impurities. So that way these jewels can shine their brightest, or these elements, as gold and silver elements, can be its purest. It says, "And they shall call on my name." Now this is the point, They shall call on the Lord's name. And what is the Lord's name, man? The Lord, oh, well, the Father, his name is Yahweh, and the Son, his name is Yahweh Shai. You know, only the 1/3 elect and 144,000 are going to call on this name. 2/3 of Israel don't care about the Lord's name, you know. And we're starting to see very evidently who are the potential 1/3 and who are the potential 2/3, man. You know, starting with they of the so-called circumcision, man. These alphabet Israelite camps, you know, that don't call in the name. You know, then we can trickle this down to your everyday Israelite on the street. You know, it says, and I will hear them. See, the Lord will hear the prayers of the elect, man. It says, I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord is my power. The Lord Yahweh is my power. You know, and that's the whole point. Because the 1/3 elect, they have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, and if you don't have faith in the Lord, how do you expect to be saved? You know, so that's a major point there. And to have faith in the Lord, you have to have a catalyst to build that faith in the Lord. What's that catalyst to build faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are the scriptures, man. You know, the good book, like the Christians would say. You know, but when you read further on in the scriptures, let's go to 1 Peter 1, it tells you who these scriptures were written for, man. You know, now when you read this, Peter is, you know, he is addressing this letter to those the Gentiles scattered abroad, you know, but we can also use this as a guide to who all the scriptures were written for, you know, and we can do this because only the elect will believe in the scriptures, you know. So by seeing this, you can extrapolate that all the scriptures were written for the elect. It's 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. It says, Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You know, apostle meaning sent forth. So he was sent from Yahweh Shai to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. So these are the Gentile regions that these letters were sent to. You know, it says elect, you know, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High the Father. Now let's go into the word elect. From the Greek word electos, which says picked out, chosen. See? So these people were chosen. So the elect of the Most High were chosen, right? Chosen by the Most High to obtain salvation through Yahweh Shai. So these people that constitute the elect in 144,000 were chosen by Yahweh Shai, man. I mean, chosen by Yahweh to obtain salvation through Yahweh Shai. And that's a perfect definition. And I'm going to go back through and read the rest of them, you know. But going back up, it says elect, you know. So when Peter sent these letters to these strangers scattered throughout these different regions on the eastern side of the world, he sent these letters to the chosen by the Most High. That, you know, he was alerted through the Spirit that these churches were chosen by the Lord, man. You know, and he sent these letters accordingly. According to what? According to the foreknowledge, you know, of the Most High, the Father. Now, the foreknowledge means to know before, you know. But let's go back to this elect definition really quick. So it says, picked out, chosen by the Most High to obtain salvation through Yahweh Shai. Christians are called chosen or elect of the Most High. Now, we all know the original Christians were who? Were the Israelites, man. You know. Now, let's go down to this third definition. It says choice, select. An example, the best of its kind or class. You know. So now, and I'll quote something that Apostle Tahar said years ago, you know, back when they were still teaching on 34th and 7th. And he was telling a story about how he seen someone that left the camp, and when he seen them, he crossed the street, you know, and and you know, he said that, you know, the man said, you act like you better than us. He said, you goddamn right I'm better than you, you know. And that goes for 2/3 of Israel too, man. You know, those that aren't serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we are better than them, Lord willing. You know, if we're of the hopeful elect, then yes, by definition of elect, we are better than 2/3 of Israel. You know, by definition, we are better than the rest of our nation, man, because we've been chosen by the Most High. We've been picked out, You know, we've been selected, you know, Lord willing. It says the best of its kind or class, excellence, preeminence applied to certain individual Christians, you know, and this is only applied to the elect, those who have supreme faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man, you know. So let's go back up to verse 2 here. It says elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High the Father. Now let's go into the word foreknowledge. So that word foreknowledge is prognosis.
Strong's G 4268. Prognosis. Prognosis.
Foreknowledge, forethought, prearrangement. So the elect were already prearranged, you know, before they were even born. When you read Jeremiah, the 1st chapter and the 5th verse, or you could start at the 4th verse, you know, when he said, when thou were in the belly, I knew thee and I sanctified thee, you know. So before these people were even born, they were prearranged and selected to be the elect unto the Lord himself. So this is a club that you can't force your way into, man. This is a club, you know, or exclusive club, so to speak, that you can only enter if the owner of the club wants you to enter, man, or if you already had a VIP spot, you know, in this club that was already purchased through the owner, you know. It says elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, meaning to be held separate, Slakia, you know, sanctification, you know, it's another word for holy. It says unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You know, now when you read this, now you start to understand that not only, yes, the Lord Yahweh Shai died for the nation, you know, but first and foremost, he died for the elect of the nation, you know, for the elect to be cleansed of their sins, you know, so we can have mercy and grace, so we can find our way back to the Father, you know, Lord willing, you know. It says grace unto you and peace be multiplied, you know. Now that's it for this scripture here. I want to go into Matthew, the 19th chapter. Matter of fact, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure in which order to place these, to be completely honest. But I am going to read John 17 first. This is John 17:9. It says, I pray for them. See, look at that. He prays for them. Now you should be getting a sentiment that the Lord is praying for them. Now, who is that them? Now, we've been speaking about the elect, which those who have been predestined, pre-selected, you know, or prearranged by the Lord. So he says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, you know. Now, when you look at this word world for face, you take it for face value, you think this means the entirety of the earth, you know. Now, you definitely could use it for that because the entirety of the earth is not included in the inheritance of Israel, Salakia, you know. But when you go into this word cosmos here, oh, yeah, you go into the word world here, which they kept the word cosmos, you know. Now, there's a few definitions in here that aren't the best. Well, truthfully, they're not the true definitions of the word, but they left enough meat in this definition where you can extrapolate a few things. So in this word cosmos here, you have an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government, you know. So now we look at this harmonious arrangement, right? Going back to 1 Peter, and you look at foreknowledge, right? You know, that word was to be prearranged. So the Lord praying for a certain group of people and not praying for the other group of people was prearranged. You know, so the Lord isn't praying for this certain arrangement here, you know, which is the 2/3 of Israel. You know, he prays for them, for that other arrangement, which is the arrangement of the elect, you know. Now, let me go down. Let's see. Here we go. The ungodly multitude. See, so this world right here is the ungodly multitude, you know, which is 2/3 of Israel that's going to be cut off, you know, and die, you know. So this So he says, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. And that world that he doesn't pray for is the ungodly multitude that is going to be cut off and die. It says the ungodly multitude, the whole mass of men alienated from the Most High. That's powerful. Alienated from the Most High. So 2/3 of Israel is alienated from the Lord. They can't even find their way back. They are estranged permanently. And therefore, so it says alienated from the Most High, and therefore hostile to the cause of Yahweh Shai. You know? Now when you look at these Christians and you look at Israel, Jake out in the world, man, and you see these Christians, they are hostile towards the cause of Yahweh Shai. You know? They're hostile towards it. You tell them that they're Israelites, you tell them that Edomites are going to be thrown in slavery, you know, that 2/3 of Israel are going to be destroyed, you know, that the 17 other nations are going to be thrown into slavery, you know, that we're going to be kings and things like that. They are hostile towards this thing, you know, and you know, I can have enough experience to know that what's being said here is true. These people that the Lord does not want, you know, that he has alienated from himself, they are hostile towards him, you know. Now let's go down. Let's see. Here we go. Any aggregate or general collection of particulars of any sort, which that general collection of particulars are the Gentiles, you know, the unnatural Gentiles. The natural Gentiles. It's like the unnatural Gentiles, you know, because you have natural Gentiles and unnatural Gentiles. The natural Gentiles are the other nations, and the unnatural Gentiles, you know, are Israelites that do not follow the customs and the statutes and laws, commandments of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, you know. But it says the Gentiles as contrasted to the Jews, you know, meaning that these are still Israelites, but these are Israelites that do not follow the customs of the Lord, you know. So let me go back. The definition was kind of long, Salakia. Yep. So back in John 17:9, it says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me. They are thine, which those that the Most High has given Yahweh Shai are the elect, man. It says, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine. You know, because the elect belongs to both. You know, the elect was owned by the Lord, by Yahweh, given to Yahweh Shai, you know, and you know, they work in tandem, you know. It says, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And that's why when we salute in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, you know, the Most High, in the name of the Son, you know. It says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father, keep through thine own name those who thou hast given me. So he's praying. This is Yahweh Shai. He's praying to the Father to keep the elect intact, that they may be one as we are, meaning be in the same spirit and the same mind, man. You know, and that mind of righteousness says, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. See? Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, you know. Now at this time, you know, this is, he was speaking about the elect, but he was speaking through the lens of the 12 disciples, you know. And so none of the disciples were lost because they were a part of the elect, right? You know, 11 of them were not lost, but he said, but the son of perdition. And that son of perdition right here in this verse is talking about Judas Iscariot. And we all know the story about Judas and how he betrayed the Lord, you know. It says that the scripture might be fulfilled, you know, and there are scriptures in the Psalms that King David spoke on concerning Judas, you know, that prophecy was fulfilled. It says, and now I come to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves, you know. So that joy fulfilled in themselves is a joy of salvation. You know, the inheritance. It says, I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Right? Because we are of righteousness. We are of the light. You know, we are sanctified and holy. We are of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, we are of a different world. We are of the spiritual world, man. You know, The world you see here is carnal, and demonic, It says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. See? Keep them from the evil, man. Because what is the evil going to do? The evil is going to drag them down, And I will say, if, you have an ear, let him hear. The evil is going to drag them down into hell, Which hell is a condition, man, played out on earth. Hell is in your mind, So to keep them from the evil, to keep them from going off and being destroyed, man, So this is Yahushua praying for the elect. It says, they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. And I'm going to stop that right there. But going into Matthew, the 19th chapter. So you see this elect, right? Now this is, this is Peter asking the Lord what they're going to receive, man. And now we all know by now, from reading the scripture, that Peter and the 11 disciples were with Yahushua, they are a part of the elect, This is Matthew 19:27. Says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, right? Meaning, and let's look at this word regeneration.
Strong's G 3824. Polygenesia. Polygenesia.
Polygenesia, which says new birth, reproduction, renewal, recreation, regeneration. Let's see. Hence renovation, regeneration, the production of a new life, consecrated to the Most High. A radical change of mind for the better, the word often used to denote the restoration of a thing to its pristine state. Its renovation as a renewal or restoration of life after death. So this is reincarnation here, man. Because those that follow the Lord back in their past lives will follow the Lord again in their, throughout their many other lives, man. So regeneration is another word for reincarnation, meaning a new iteration of life, Now you can say, well, that just means that they changed their mindset and they were converted. Correct. But you can't convert, to something that you don't already have. The word con means with, invert means virtue, which is truth. So if you already don't have that spirit of truth, or that inkling of spirit of truth in your spirit, you can't convert to the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, So it says, we have forsaken all, and what shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, here it goes, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So this is our reward for following the Lord willing. This is the elect's reward for following the Lord. So this is the hopeful elect's reward for following the Lord. It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses, because the 1/3 elect, will do these things because they're following Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says those who have followed me in regeneration. So the elect will do these things because their whole being for living is following the Lord. It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake. For my name's sake. See, the name keeps popping up again. IUIC, ISUBK. It says for the name's sake. So you have to have that name if you want to be considered, for the position of the elect. It says, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. See, everything that's here on this earth is nothing compared to what we shall receive in the kingdom of heaven. It says, but many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So many that are first here in this earth, are going to be last in the kingdom of heaven. And those that are last on this earth, which are the 1/3 elect, in 144,000, they shall be first in the kingdom of heaven. And that's the reward that the elect will receive, man. You know, this is Revelation, the 14th chapter, and this is a prime example. It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood upon the Mount Zion, which that lamb is Yahushua, and with him 144,000, having his father's name, there goes that name again, written in their foreheads, you know, and that name is Yahweh. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. See, they were redeemed from the earth, you know. These are they which were not defiled with women, meaning other philosophies, things that don't concern themselves with the true doctrine and the true faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For they are virgins, meaning they've been untouched by these other doctrines, you know. Their mind and their spirits have remained pure in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. And going back to Matthew the 19th chapter, you know, when the Lord said, ye have followed me in the regeneration, you know, so they followed the Lamb wherever he goeth in past lives, iteration of their in each iteration of their lives, man, you know, because it was written. It says, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Now you go into the word first fruits, which I wanted to go into Jude, the 6th verse, actually. Hopefully I have time to go into it, but Salakia. So let's go into the word first fruits here.
Strong's G 536. Aparche. Aparche.
Aparche, which means to offer firstlings or first fruits, to take away the first fruits of the production of earth. His term person. Here we go. Which Slakia, which was offered to the Most High, the first portion of the dough, which was sacrificed, was the sacred loaves which were prepared. Hence term used of persons consecrated to the Most High for all time. That sounds like the hopeful elect to me. It says persons superior in excellence to others of the same class. Now, when you look at the elect, you know, the elect nation is Israel, but you have which are superior to the 17 other nations, right? And then you have the elect within the elect. You have the 144,000 hopeful elect, which are superior in excellence to others of the same class, which would mean the 2/3 of Israel, those in our nation who don't serve the Lord. You know, the elect is superior to them. Read it and weep, Christian community. You know, and when you go into Jude, which I think I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this really quick. Let me go back into Salakia. Yeah, so being first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb, right? Now first fruits. This is Jude chapter 1 and verse 6. Because the first fruits, meaning the first ones that were born and sanctified, you know, those superior, right? You know, these are the ones that are with Yahushai, and the elect were the angels with Yahushai that created the world, man. You know, so really think about it. This is a reconnaissance mission for the elect to get back home. It says, Jude 1 and 6 says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, which are the hopeful elect here on earth right now. You know, this is why they follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. This is why they followed Yahushua in the regeneration, because they were always with Yahushua in the beginning. You know, it says, which kept not their first estate, you know, meaning their angelic bodies, you know, but left their own habitation, you know, the spirit realm. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness. Now these chains are the flesh, man. You know, it says under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. You know, so these chains and under darkness are the flesh that we are in, that the hopeful elect are in, man. You know, and that we're increasingly trying to mortify these members so we can become you know, how do you say, we can become more sanctified in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You know, so going back to John 14:4 really quick, these are they which were not defiled with women, but they are virgins, which are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, because they were with him in the beginning. These were redeemed from among men, you know, meaning bought back, you know, being the first fruits unto the Most High to the Lamb, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are with fault before the throne of the Most High. So the elect are created superior to the rest of our nation and the rest of the world, just because the Lord said so, man. And there is no fault with them, you know, before the throne of the Lord. So these men, these elect group of men and women, are going to be saved, you know, by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, no matter what, you know, because there's no fault found in them, you know, and the hopeful elect are going to do whatever they can to get back to the Lord, meaning keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and living their lives in righteousness, you know, according to the spirit of Harakah Kadash, man, you know. Now, this is the last scripture here. This is John chapter 10, verse 27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, for I know them and they know me, right? Because the elect were with the Lord in the beginning. So whatever the Lord has laid out in these scriptures, whatever the Lord is telling them is going to resonate with them, man. You know, and the sheep are going to follow, you know, meaning that they are going to show the Lord that they love him, man, you know, and they're going to be obedient. That's what sheep do. They're obedient, right? You know, now you do have hard-headed sheep, you know, sheep that go off in thickets and fall in ditches and things like that, you know, and then you have the sheep that the Lord, you know, lets them die, which would be the 2/3. And you have the sheep that the Lord goes out of his way to retrieve from death, you know, to put them on the right path, you know, though that would be a representation of the hopeful elect. It says, and I give them unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. See, I can't make this up. It says, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand, you know, and that goes for, and we can attribute that to Esau, you know, the so-called white man. He's trying to pluck the elect out of the Lord's hand with the charagma, you know, but you can never pluck the elect out of the Lord's hands because they belong to him. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one, you know, meaning one spirit, one mind, you know. So the elect will never stray from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know. They will always find their way back to the Lord, man. You know, they will always be consecrated as superior, you know, and prearranged, you know. So this truth, the the word of the Lord, you know, the scriptures, the Bible, you know, is is a story about it's an epic poem about the elect of Israel, man. You know, it's an epic poem about the elect of the world, which is Israel, and the elect within the elect of the world, which is the 144,000 and the 1/3 elect. And there's nothing you can do to get around that, you know. The Lord has already written this in the heavens the way he wanted to write it. And the Most High is never wrong. The Most High doesn't make mistakes, you know. So with that, you know, I hope you, Akim and Akwath, are edified in the spirit, you know, the Harakah Kadash, you know, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, I want to give all praises, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone who grew well. And salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.